All right, welcome to the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm your host, Bigragu.
And I'm your co-host, Lou Dog. We have an exciting evening for you this evening. We're going to review the draft.
Absolutely. What we're going to do with this post-draft is we have your the review, analysis, and breakdown. And today we're going to review what is arguably the most exciting and anticipated day of the year, and that is the FFL Draft. And for those of you that want to call in,
we have our number at 555-FFNC at 555-3362 for your literates. So call in.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break down the teams, give the grades, review everything, and let you know what we think as far as even the postseason. Are we right on that one?
We're going to forecast the postseason for you. It's going to be an exciting night.
All the way, season hasn't even started. We're getting ready to do that. So why don't we hop into it, and we'll break down the teams and give you guys a better idea of what's going to go on with the year.
Super.
All right. All right, and as we come over to the board here, we have the Springboro Spartans coming in. Had a great draft. We look instantly at his wide receivers, Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson, and Terrell Owens. That's a solid A+, the best receiving core in the draft. Then you have the Jason Witten pick, tight end, another A+. The weakness of this team is the running backs. They're C+ backs, but they all catch a lot of receptions. So overall grade is a B+ for the team. We come over to the Buckland Rovers. We're looking at his quarterback pick with Phillip Rivers and the surprise Brett Favre pick. Great pick there. You got an A worth of quarterbacks. Then we come over to his wide receivers. You have Larry Fitzgerald, A+, one of the best wide receivers in the league. You have Bernard Berrien. Braylon Edwards is the question mark. Joey Galloway, always solid, but he's a C. And then Keenan Burton, really unproven. He gets a B+ for that as well. Overall grade for this team we're looking at is a B+. We come over to the Headbangers, and with the Headbangers, you notice he got Kurt Warner and Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterbacks. Fantastic picks with quarterbacks. We're looking at an A. The one thing, while every positive, there has to be I guess a negative, not really a negative, but you have his Greg Jennings, Hines Ward, Patrick Creighton, Bobby Ingram, and there is a missing fifth wide receiver there, as was there a missing fifth running back. So you have a C+ there for his wide receivers. Overall grade was a B-. We step up to the Fighting Quakers with Brian Westbrook and LaDainian Tomlinson. Back-to-back, absolutely fantastic backs. Great picks there. You look at that, you see the solidness of that, and you're thinking, this is an absolutely amazing running back draft. Unfortunately, you see a Cedric Benson, Ricky Williams, Edgerrin James, brings that down just a little bit to a B- overall. These are overall grades, not just based on one person. We look at his tight ends. Again, Antonio Gates, Todd Heap, potential there. You have an A. Overall grade for this team is a B-. Taking over, stepping over, still going strong. We got the Bears. The Bears we have here, we're looking at his wide receiving core of Steve Smith, T.J. Houshmandzadeh, Kevin Walter, Percy Harvin, Darius Hayward-Bay. This looks to be the strength of his team. It's a solid B for those wide receivers. Good job there. And we come over, and unfortunately, we're looking at his quarterbacks with Matt Castle and Jake Delhomme. Definitely not the strength of his team. A C. Overall grade, though, a B- for his team. Coming over to the Cornholers, you see Adrian Peterson, Steve Slayton, Reggie Bush, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely fantastic pick for those. He's the only team that actually graded out as an A for his running backs. Great job there. Unfortunately, with every A, you have to come around and check out his quarterbacks. Chad Pennington in the 10th round, followed up by Mark Sanchez. Not the strongest of those, so we're looking at a C. But again, an overall grade of a B-. Hamiltoes starts out with, we're looking at his running backs, Brandon Jacobs, Thomas Jones, Chris Wells, Tim Hightower, Brandon Jackson, and you'd think if this was a regular scoring league, this would be a great running back class. Unfortunately, this is a points per reception league, and they take a strong hit, and it's a C overall for his running backs. But if you check out his wide receivers with the Randy Moss, very strong A, almost A+ type of receiver, Santonio Holmes, Deshaun Jackson, Chris Chambers, and the surprise pick right here at 12, he got Chris Henry. I think Chris Henry could easily be up there with Deshaun Jackson. Very strong wide receiving corps, solid B, a B- overall for his team. We step over here, we have the Motor City Maggots. Steven Jackson and Clinton Portis. What a great combination of backs. Unfortunately, he follows that up with a Lendale White, a Liddell Betts, and Dominic Rhodes. Now, Lendale White will get his touchdowns, but unfortunately with Liddell Betts and Dominic Rhodes, they're basically resorted to more part-time players than full-time players, and we're looking at a B-. Over here at quarterback, though, as soon as you look, you see Peyton Manning. You don't have to look anymore. Shut it off. There's an A. That is a solid B- team all the way through. Coming up here, one of the strongest teams in the draft by far, you have the Centerville Centurions. We were looking at his quarterback, Tom Brady, comes back in the 9th round and gets a David Garrard, who consistently places in the top 10 with quarterbacks. Anything less than an A would be shocking for this. But as with every strength, there has to be some type of weakness with his Roddy White, Eddie Royal. Roddy White's a solid A, almost A+ receiver. Eddie Royal's on the fringe of becoming an A, but he is the number 2 there behind Brandon Marshall. Devin Hester is unproven. Michael Crabtree still unsigned, and then Miles Austin gets the C. The Hester pick, I think, was forced by the Cotchery pick, and what happened here, I just don't know yet. And we're looking at a B- there, but overall grade is a B+ for this team. Very, very strong team. We come over to the Lazy Lizards. He'll admittedly admit that this was not his favorite draft. We come up, we'll start with the tight ends because we want to finish on a high note. Tight ends here, automatically Brandon Pettigrew and Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis, unproven. He's a C tight end at best. He has the potential to be an A. He's really shown us an F, so we'll give him a C. Brandon Pettigrew, unproven. We have no idea. A D overall for his tight ends. Coming up, though, with his running backs, Chris Johnson, amazing pick with Pierre Thomas. Ray Rice is fantastic. No Sean Marino, we don't know. Cadillac Williams, always injured, but it is a solid B, but overall grade is a C for this team. Stepping up to the Leather Boys, we're looking at his running backs with Matt Forte, Kevin Smith, good picks there. Larry Johnson, is this his last season? Ernest Graham, there's a reason why he went 10th. And Chester Taylor, who is the backup to Adrian Peterson. Chester Taylor is good, not great. He gets a C+, though, for the running backs. Then we go all the way over to his quarterbacks there with his Donovan McNabb and the Kyle Orton. Great pick with Kyle Orton here. I think he's really going to shine. I think he might even have a better season than Jay Cutler. So we got a B+ on the quarterbacks, a B- overall for the team. Coming over to the crime boss, we have his wide receivers. We have Dwayne Bowe, who's an A. We don't see another receiver on his team until the 6th round, and by then, well, you know how that goes. He's got Derek Mason there. Steve Bresamusha, Muhammad Justin Gage. These guys are C+ at best. Overall grade for those wide receivers is a C+. But then, as I mentioned earlier with the quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, great pick, follows it with the Jay Cutler in the 7th. Back-to-back, boom, some of the strongest quarterbacks you have there with the A- for the quarterbacks, B- overall for the team. Then we got the Fallen Guns, former champion. We have, right here, you notice Roy Williams is his number 1 receiver. You know his receiving corps is in trouble. He's got Roy Williams, Nate Burleson, Antoine Randall, who is a 3rd wide receiver at best on any team. Michael Jenkins, Malcolm Floyd. C+, or actually a C for his wide receivers. But then we take it over to the quarterbacks, and when you see a Drew Brees on there, and then follows it up with Eli Manning in the 9th, you gotta love that. That is a solid A all the way through. Overall grade, though, for the team is a C+. Last but not least, we have the Kings, who's coming up. His running backs, not the greatest. Didn't take a running back till the 6th round, and if you wait that long to take a running back, the quality is not going to be that good, especially when you're taking a running back at the end of the 6th round. Hurts him there with Felix Jones, Fargus, Duckett, McAllister. You're looking at a C- for the running backs. But taking the tight ends here with the double pick, nothing less than a B, solid B- overall for the team. Well, there you have it. That's the wrap-up of the teams, and now we will give our playoff predictions and things like that for the upcoming season.
Yeah, I'd like to put in a couple predictions there. I think what you saw is we pretty much have league parity. There is a lot of teams up there that get strong on one thing and not on the other. So my prediction is I can only choose 3 teams that I think that will be in the final 6 in the playoffs. I choose the Spartans, I choose the Springboro Spartans, the Buckland Rovers, and the Centerville Centurions. The next 3 spots I think is a toss-up. There's about 9 other teams that can make it in the final 6.
I would, as much as I want to disagree, I can't disagree with you. Those 3 picks that you have are the picks. There are a couple teams that, like the Lizards, I think has a shot if his picks, all those rookie picks come through. If not, he's on the outside looking in. There's some teams, there's a couple at the bottom I don't think will make it. I don't think Fallen Guns is seeing the playoffs again. I think his reign ends there. So that is going to leave those open. The Maggots, the Leather Boys are always tough. You have, I think, the Quakers. So maybe I will fill out the 6 and say it'll be the Quakers, the Maggots, the Leather Boys, the Centurions, the Rovers, and the only Columbus team represented in the playoffs will be the Spartans.
This is Dayton's year.
So I don't know if I'll succeed that yet. We'll see. There's a lot of weeks to play. Well, this has been the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm Bigragu.
I'm Blue Dog,
and we are out.